This year we won't be having, I think, public programs in UK because also there are certain circumstances. But whenever there is a circumstance which somehow or other changes our programs, we must immediately know that there is a purpose behind all that change, and we must immediately accept it with an open heart. That divine wants us to change. Supposing I'm going on a road and people say, "You are lost your way, mother." It's all right. I'm never lost because I'm with myself. But I had to go by that particular road is the point. I had to do it. And that's why I have supposed to be not on that road and I have lost my way. If you have that kind of a understanding, and if you have that satisfaction in your heart, then you'll find life is worth much more than what you think it to be. Now, as it is, what was the reason I thought that we have decided to have public programs? This year definitely, we could not have public programs. So the reason is that we have to consolidate. In the growth of a tree which is a living tree, it happens that it moves in a particular direction up to a point till it has to change because there is no sun coming that side. Maybe there is no water levels arriving. So they start changing. In the same way, one has to understand that we are in the hands of the divine. And if some plans are changed, it is reflecting back on us and we have to see why. And the why of it is that we have to consolidate. Consolidation of Sahaja Yogis is very important. The first thing to consolidate yourself, you must do introspection. You must do introspection is to reflect the light within and see for yourself. What have you done so far in Sahaja Yoga? Where were you? How far you have gone and how far you have to go? What is the thing that is lacking in you? You'll be surprised when you start seeing yourself in a very unbiased manner, not justifying yourself. Do not blaming any bhoots or need not blame any badhas within you or somebody else. If you start yourself, what has gone wrong with you that you could not consolidate yourself properly, you'll be amazed that there has been problems still lingering on which must be corrected. Now these problems you can see very clearly. In the light of the Spirit you can see them very clearly that this has gone wrong with me. One of the most interesting things I have noticed is that Sahaja Yoga is all the time covered with some sort of a maya. And this maya is ignorance, complete ignorance sometimes partially. Now when you get into Sahaja Yoga, you get blessed. You get blessed, maybe your family gets blessed, you children get blessed, you get some sort of a blessing for your physical being, also for financial, you get jobs, you get money, you get something exceptional, which is really miraculous. Now people get very much lost in those achievements and start drifting, thinking that, oh, this is the blessing we have got now, we don't have to do anything anymore. That you have been rewarded sufficiently for whatever you have done so far. That's not so. It's just a sort of a support to you comes so that your faith should be fully established in Sahaja Yoga. And especially you should know me, what I am. But if you go on still drifting, then maybe some of these blessings may turn out to be curses. And you might feel that what a curse it has fallen upon us and how it has gone in the wrong way. For some people it takes time to feel, to get to the feel of the blessings. For example, mostly according to the modern ideas, we think that to get more money is the biggest blessing. So many get that also. But actually it is not. To get your peace within, to get to your witness state, and to feel your vibrations all right, and to be in the center all the time ascending is the real blessing. Because with that you get everything else. The completion is only possible when you have the complete joy bubbling within yourself. After all, everything is just a means to achieve joy, to feel the joy. It is not the end. If it was, those people who have money, those people who have good health, those people who have all the success so-called with them, they should have been happy and peaceful. But they are not. They are suffering. They are suffering too much. And they are, in a way, destroying themselves day by day because they hate their lives. They can't bear it. They cannot understand why they are on this earth. So all these blessings that come to you, all these changes that come to you, all these new venues that open to you, one has to know that it is for your benevolence. Everything for your benevolence, and your benevolence is your ascent. Nothing else but your ascent. The rest of it is all useless and fruitless. Once you understand that this is what you have to achieve in life, that is what you have to enjoy, then it works out. But in Sahaja Yoga, as you see, it's compassion and love. It is not so much restrictions. You are left to yourself to develop yourself. It's your spirit which has to guide you. There's no coaxing or correction going on all the time. But it is left to you to understand yourself, to see for yourself and work it out. But one of the criteria should be that what have I done for Sahaja Yoga? Or what have I done for Mother? These two things are very important to understand. Whatever small thing I could do for Sahaja Yoga is important, because if you are intelligent, you can see that this is the greatest thing you have to do, is to work for God. This is the most important thing so far human beings have indulged into. Is the highest type of enterprise that human beings have ever had a chance to indulge into. And what a chance it is to you. You may say that, Mother, we are mediocres, we are no good, we are useless, but you are chosen. You are the one chosen, so there must be something about you. You might not have seen that part within yourself which is going to work out this great work of God. So you have to locate and find out, why am I selected for Sahaja Yoga? What can I do in Sahaja Yoga? What can I work it out in Sahaja Yoga? This should be a constant reminder to you that I have been chosen for Sahaja Yoga. I want to take full advantage of Sahaja Yoga. Supposing somebody doesn't have money, he expects that Sahaja Yoga should give money. Must give jobs, must give this, must give that, must have children, must give good health, all that. Expectations are all right. But what have I done for Sahaja Yoga? This is another point of introspection. Very important to see that we have to do something for Sahaja Yoga. It's not money, it's not work, it's not thinking, it's not any kind of a support. But one of them, the most important thing is how many people you have given realization to. You have to count. How many people you have been able to give realization to? How many people you have talked about Sahaja Yoga? You may think that you give realization to some people. They come, they disappear. Doesn't matter. They will ultimately come to you. Today, you try on some, they'll be lost. Again tomorrow. You have to relentlessly work for it. As you know, I've worked very hard in UK. My coming to UK itself was all predetermined. There was a need for me to come here to make the heart work better. But heart is lethargic, you know that. And lethargic heart gets all kinds of problems. But all these years I've been working. Every year, whatever time I could give for Sahaja Yogis, for their problems, for Sahaja Yoga, for their minutest problem, for any kind of help they needed. Every sort I have tried to work it out. Directly, indirectly, you are all blessed. Still, what about you people who are now yogis? You are saints. You must see a photograph that I have, very interesting photograph, where you are all certified saints. Have you seen that photograph? Not yet? You better see it. Let's have it. The photograph is in my box, I think, yes. You are all certified saints by the divine, not by any cardinal or by any pope. So, what are all these saints doing? One saint which is certified by pope, who is artificially certified, is such a big thing, you know. What about you who have been certified by God Almighty? You are still busy with your work, you are still busy with your little things, you are still busy with your small lives and small families. For a saint, is said in Sanskrit, Udara Charitanam Vasudhaiva Kutum. For a person who is of a generous nature, means a person who is a saint, the whole world is his own family. Are you still only worried about your own family? Then you are not yet aware of your saintliness. And a saint doesn't only worry about his own wife, about his own child, about his own house. He worries about the whole world. Now, as Sahaja Yogis, you are a powerful entities. You are very powerful people. We have got problems in the whole world, you know that very well. It's not necessary you have to be great intellectuals or you have to be people who are some sort of politicians or something. But you must be on the lookout for the problems which are troubling this world. You have to be. You cannot live in your own world that you are a saint now, I am in Niranand. That's not possible. You can't just be in Niranand. You have to know that you have to live in this world. And you have to know all the problems of this world. And you have to think about them, not only your problems, that mother, how will I be able to do this and how will I be able to do that? But you have to worry about the whole world. You have to think what's happening in the world. What are the problems of the world? You are responsible for that. Not only that, but you have to pray. In your prayers you have to say, Mother, solve this problem. Collectively, individually, you have to take your attention from yourself, from your smaller life, to a much wider thing. Then you are a saint. And you have to think that it is your duty to ask for divine help, that all these problems should be solved. This is your job for which you are selected. Your asking is going to work out, because as you know, I am desireless. You have to desire for it. Whatever you desire will work out. The protection, the affection, the compassion of mother is with you. But you have to look after this world and show the concern that you have. Not to live with a very limited areas and with a very limited ways. Like now the British think, British are here, all right, UK problems are our problems. No. Your problems extend to all the places wherever there is Sahaja Yoga. And you have to worry about all of them. Now we are having, say, problems in Australia. And there's somebody who is very troublesome. So you have to see to it that, thank you, you have to see to it that you beat that person with shoes and put that right. Your leader has to tell you whom to beat with the shoes. And work it out. Whether it is in Australia, whether it is in America, whether it is in India, anywhere, you see that there's a problem on Sahaja Yoga, there's an assault on Sahaja Yoga, all of you should put your attention to it and work it out. Then there are general problems, as you see. See, we see that America is now becoming idiotic, or whatever you may say. So you have to put your attention to America. You have to stretch your attention outside, not inside. Just worried about yourself, about your family, about your house, about your children. As soon as you spread your attention outside, your problems are solved in the house. In the smaller circle, they are solved. You have to pay attention outside. Now these days there are televisions, where first we had said don't see any televisions, because there was no use saying television by Sahaja Yogis. When they saw the television, they only got caught up. But now there are important things that are happening which you can see for yourself. You can scan it out, what are the world problems, and you can see for yourself where you have to put your attention. You should become aware of your personality. It's not a personality that can be completely involved into a very small area. Your personality such should get involved into all the problems of the universe, all the problems there are, and you'll be amazed that everything can work out in a very collective way. And at this stage, when you can see for yourself now, all the Sahaja Yogis have got vibrations on top of their heads. Would like to have a look, all of you? Just see, all of you, sitting in Ganpati. So stretch out your vibrations, stretch out your attentions, and you'll be amazed that all other stupid problems that you have will be finished. Now have a look. Let the children see first of all. Just see. You all have vibrations on top of your head. Let them grow, I tell you. I'm just waiting for them to grow. So the attitude towards ourselves should be to be aware of our own glory, of our own position, to know that we are saints, that we have reached a stage where we are at the highest. And that now we have become the light and we have to give light to others. If you see in the Bible, Christ has said something which is very important, that you don't put the light under the table. That's what it is. You have to put the light on a pedestal. And that's what it is, that you have to put your light on the citadel at a very highest point to give light to others. And this is working both ways. If you start understanding what you are, what you have to be aware of, what is your situation, what is your powers, what you have achieved in Sahaja Yoga, what is the debt you have towards Sahaja Yoga, and what you have to give for Sahaja Yoga. How Sahaja Yoga has made you so capable, so good, so nice. Are you righteous enough? Are you behaving properly? Are you doing all the rightful things which are necessary? Because it is only you who can do it. You are the people with a very, very special energies and special contacts with the spiritual life. And if you start behaving like all other mundane, nonsensical people, limiting yourself to a family, your children, your nonsensical previous lives, you'll be lost. Lost to yourself and lost to everyone. The problems are much more than what you know about. That is the understanding you have to reach, that Mother has made us yogis. We are saints. And we have to show to the world the right path. She has told us that we are the light. And we have to show to people which way to go, how to go further. Instead of that, everybody seems to be a problem, seems to be in a very small little whirlpool going round and round and round. How can that be? I have told you many times, look at these false gurus. They have no vibrations, they don't know anything about Kundalini, nothing about Sahaja Yoga. But how much they are doing? While what are we doing? We are struggling still with ourselves and with our problems, with our own ideas, with our very small-mindedness and chicken-heartedness. Now it is for you to understand. It is for you to decide about yourself. It is your own desire, it is your own bigness, your own magnanimity which has to come forward. To see for yourself what you are capable of, what you can do. It's very easy for people to say that, oh Mother, it's too much, I can't do anything about it. Or somebody to say that, Mother, I'm busy with my family. Or somebody to say, I'm busy with my children. You have come to Sahaja Yoga for that. I have given you realization for that. All these blessings have come to you for that. So the consolidation that you have to do is very important. You can see it clearly. That's why we could not have any public programs, because we really need consolidation in UK. Though I have lived in UK for so many years, people take me for granted here. Because I am here, because I am staying here, they think if we go to the airport, finished. We have done all the Hajj, everything. We've been to the airport, we've seen Mother, finished. What's the use of seeing me? What have I given you? Is your light spreading? How many people have got realization from you? Just find out how many people have learned Sahaja Yoga from you, or from your lives, or from your wisdom, or from your behavior. That is the way. That is the criteria. It's not that all right, I have sent mother her money for her travel. That's not sufficient. At my age, from India, if you see any lady at my age, she walks with a stick. She can't climb even one step. Indian women can't because of the heat that they have to. But I'm traveling, you know how much I'm traveling, how much I'm doing. What about my family? I deprive them of my company. I deprive my husband of my company. Everybody is just without me. I'm traveling every day. You know that very well. And I'm working so very hard. Sometimes I sleep at 2 o'clock, sometimes at 3 o'clock. This time Harsh was with me. And I saw him, he was fagged out. So I was saying, you people do only relay race. I am in Australia, all right. Australians are working. When I am in Austria, then Austrians are working. Then they are having a nice time there. I am in UK, all right. Little bit in UK, little work done. Then they all sit down nicely, enjoy. What about me? I am having a marathon. In the same way you have to feel. After all, what is my gain in it? What do I gain out of it? I gain something. I have brought my children back to normal conditions. I have taken them to the kingdom of God. You have to do the same. You have to take them to the kingdom of God. But if you yourself are involved into your own mires, you'll be every day going down and down and down and down. I may shout, I may say anything, it will not go into your heads. It will never click with you. You'll be all stranded wherever you are because you don't want to say. For that, I would say, you have one advantage, especially in UK. You are all very intelligent people. You have intelligence, no doubt. You are not idiots like Americans. You are intelligent. This intelligence became cunningness once upon a time. And now you are tired of your cunning. Indians have learned the cunning from you. They have become really very cunning. But you are tired of your cunningness, so now you are tired, fed up, fagged out, and lethargic. But with your intelligence you can understand that this is such an important work our mother is doing. You'll go down in the history. Every word you say, everything you say, every way you behave, everything is going to go down in the history. Not how many children you produced or what sort of a wife you have, but what you did for such. Remember that. History is going to record everything, whatever you have done, and whatever you have achieved in such. It's not showing off. It's not just demonstration. It's not talking big. It's nothing of the kind. It's actually, really, totally, what you have achieved is the point. Will be recorded. At least God knows hypocrisy and God knows bombastic temperaments. It's God who knows where you are and what you are up to. You cannot befool God. One thing you must realize. But when you are befooling God, you are befooling yourself, your spirit, your realization, your own ascent. So we have to be careful. As a mother, I would say, try to be introspecting yourself very carefully. What have we done for Sahaja Yoga? What have we done for other people who are drifting? What have been our behavior towards other Sahaja Yogis? How much peace and love and compassion we have given to others? How much understanding and tolerance we have shown to others? If somebody gets here a little more money, he becomes so bombastic, he becomes so aggressive, he becomes so rude. I can't believe it. How can money lure you into these vices? You are not ordinary people. You are the saints whose feet were washed by the river Ganges. Try to understand your glory. Try to understand your own powers, your own position as saintly people, Sahajogis, which are above all the saints, because you know how to give realization. You know everything about Kundalini. You know everything about realization. How many people knew about it? Otherwise, I'll start thinking I have given all this knowledge to some bunch of fools who do not know what is the value. As Christ has said, don't throw pearls before the swines. I don't think I have done that mistake. I cannot believe I have done that mistake, that I have thrown pearls before swines. I have not done it. But it is for you to decide where you stand in what category. It is so obvious that it's a very precarious time we are passing through. It's very important we have to fight it out. It's much more than any wars you have fought. It's much more than any struggle human beings ever had. It's such a horrible world that is being created, and we have to transform it. It's a tremendous task. For that, you have to work out in a very sincere and an innate manner. And I'm sure one day will come that in the history of this world, Sahajogis will have their names written with golden letters. I'm sure this will work out. I'm sure this has to work out, and that you all have to achieve it. Collectively, with one mind, with one heart, what should I sacrifice? What should I do? How should I help? What is my contribution? I wish I could see those days in my lifetime. So today is the day when we have to introspect. So should we go into meditation, all of us? Please close your eyes.